Janine up on the fence.
You could tell he wanted to go early and I was holding him home. He probably should have just kept holding him.
Both matching each other's speed, looking for an opportunity, looking for a moment of distraction or loss of concentration where the jump can occur.
I figured that, and so I wasn't going to hold back on it.
Little surge from Jennifer, and it looks like she's off, and she's giving it a good run. Coming around on corner 4 into the straight, and we're up for the bell. Janine riding up high, looking for that opportunity to get the extra speed to come round Jennifer. And the two are pretty much neck and neck, and Janine takes the lead around the outside, looking for an opportunity to safely drop down into the lane, which she does, and she's now holding the sprinters lane into the main straight after corner 4, and reasonably comfortably brings it home for them, so they'll be fairly closely matched in the last few months. With David being a long-term competitor here. David sitting up reasonably high with Janine making sure she's keeping a very close eye on him and holding him on her hip. So they're coming around into the front bit of the main straight with Janine holding David on her hip and pushing him up high. Janine braking a little bit as she pushes David further up towards the fence. Coming around on corner 4 into the main straight, and they're still pretty much neck and neck. So with the bell, we're still looking for that elusive jump. Could happen any time. David staying up high and Janine pushing in there, waiting to see where there's an opportunity to jump into that sprint lane. Who will have the legs to see this through? It looks like David's jumped and he's taken off with Janine taking chase. Coming around into turn 4, Janine's holding that lane and she's giving it everything she's got, but it looks like David's just a little bit too... Pat Doherty's up high, with Penny holding him up against the fence. The tactics will be quite detailed in this type of race, particularly between these two. Pat, with a world of experience at this type of racing, and in fact pretty much anything with wheels, you can tell that he's going to be across it. Looks like Penny's going to get a little bit of space between the two. She's jumped. Pat making chase. So she's gone fairly early, so they've still got a good lap and a half to go before the end game comes into play. Coming around corner 4, and we're up for the bell. And Pat is sitting on Penny's wheel like glue. Around 150 metres to go, and the track's flattened out, and Pat makes his move, comes around the outside, around corner 3. Has he got the legs to come round Penny and hold her out? Around corner 4, and they're coming down for the finish. It's a sprint finish, and everyone's giving it everything, but Pat have enough against the fence and preventing making that jump. The pace is reasonably high at this stage. The two trying to work out what they're going to do next.
Yeah, but I heard track.
Nerves watching Gavin in his peripheral vision, waiting to see that movement, that sudden flash as that fluorescent pink goes beaming past, when if it does. The two coming around corner 4 into the main straight, and we're up for the bell and moves away. Gavin up high, and the two are tracking pretty much neck and neck. We're into the straight. Does Gavin have the legs? It looks like he might, and he's coming around the outside into corner 3. Corner 3, and the two are neck and neck and holding. Coming into corner 4, they're coming up towards the line. They're going as hard as they can. Gavin's giving it everything move, and Gavin takes it. And John Tucker sitting a bit lower, up around the dispute line. Pace has dropped off quite a lot, and the two are watching each other like a hawk, wondering if they'll go too slow and slip down the track, or whether the other will take that opportunity to just concentration quickly.
20 years, 1990 helmets.
I think someone needs to keep an eye on Kelly.
David Scarlett up high, potentially using the advantage of the high side of the track to speed his jump. The two just waiting for the moment when either could.
I looked over because I was coming
John,
from the gate.
watching him going to like a ball, holding her up against the fence, trying to make sure the angle that he has to come down to jump over the top is cut off, forcing him to jump from behind, should he decide to.
So instead of pulling up to the
two are coming into turn 3,
off into the grass like I usually do, just kick.
still watching each other closely,
Look down, just went,
no sign of an attack yet.
pull up.
Now we're up to the bell, one lap to go.
It was so soft. That grass is so waterlogged. Yeah. Down so like, just
David sitting high.
through.
So good look from up here, you know, the bike
Coming around with almost 200 metres to go, and it looks like John is gone, but David won't be mistaken. He's out, he's come around the front. But no one's giving up. They're coming into the final turn, coming up for the sprint, and
Sort of 3, you know, because
the tactician. Aaron, not phased. The two sitting down in the sprinter's lane, watching each other, trying to block any potential attack. Aaron possibly hoping for Carl to lose concentration and take the advantage.
Don't look on your left, you can't come under here.
Carl just waiting to see if Aaron
He's part way around the
is
corner.
going to jump and be ready to go when he does. Coming around into corner 3, two matching each other's pace. Carl slowly pushing Aaron up onto the bank, cutting off any chance of him coming around easily. Corner 4, and we're up to the bell, and it's on. Aaron, big turn of speed. Carl pursuing him closely. Carl with a big gear on, able to potentially round him up. The two come almost together as we come into corner 4, and we're up for a sprint finish. It's on, and it's Carl Brewer by a good line together up high on the bank into a corner 1. Faking at each other, trying to encourage the other to jump ahead of time, and maybe turn it into a different race than they'd intended, to upset their plan. Round corner 2 into the main straight, the two are pretty much on each other's hip, with Ian down lower, pushing Nicholas up towards top of the bank. Speed's increasing, coming into corner 4 as we go into the main straight, and it looks like they're away. They're both going neck and neck as fast as they possibly can, with Ian maintaining his position in the sprinter's lane coming into corner 3, pops up slightly, and into corner 4, and it's a drag race, it's on, and it looks like Ian takes it out. This is going to be very much a psychological activity, this race. Don't underestimate the benefits of this. Walking pace is always something that's interesting for each group of riders to interpret. and you'll see a range of perceptions of walking pace here.
alright?
No!
Nick watching James very closely, knowing full well the benefit of that height up on the bank. James waiting for any possible loss of concentration from Nick. Nick watching him intently. So coming around to corner 2 and a bit more of a fake just to keep people with their concentration on the game. So we drop down into the back straight where much of that advantage of the bank drops away just for a moment, and they're running pretty much neck and neck. Nick's trying to hold James up onto the bank to make sure that he can't easily go round the top, and knowing full well that if he does drop down into the sprinter's lane, he'll be able to hold it with as minimal energy as possible. The two continuing to play tit-for-tat. Coming around into round 3 of the first lap, into corner 3, and the two are still playing cat and mouse. Nick watching James intently. James just waiting for that slight sign that a bell might go a little way. And it looks like Nick has faked another break. But how many times in a row do you fake before you recognise that it's actually the real thing? And it is the real thing it's on, and James Van has taken off. He's jumped well away from Nick and has one corner to go to hold him out for the win. And James seems to have set up, so up high. The two keeping a bit of pace on, and Marcel winding the speed up. So it's a little bit of fake, and Marcel's now holding the lead, which is clearly what he's out to achieve. Emerson sitting on Marcel's wheel, taking the advantage for now, and then running up high. Marcel can't afford to let him do that for too long, because that's a great opportunity for a big jump. Both of them are sitting up high in corner 4, coming in to the bell, and they're still moving quite high. Emerson jumping, and the pair of them waiting for that opportunity for the final sprint. But the pace is now quite high as we lead into corner 3. And Emerson puts on a real spurt of power coming into corner 4, and it's going to be a huge race to the line. And Emerson holds out Marcel. It will be a gold coin donation. And just one final comment from the commissaire is, let's all try and make sure when you're owning the sprinter's lane, guys, that people do not drop down in it, or you stay within it. Any jumps out of the sprinter's lane once the sprinters commence will quite possibly achieve a disqualification. So, getting back to the race, Neil and Chris Ray.
A little interesting thing to point out, Chris, is that the two of them are wearing brand new Casco Warp 4 helmets, especially imported from the UK via Germany. No, I got that the wrong way around. Germany via the UK. If you look at them closely, they're very, very aerodynamic. Absolute latest technology. Worth at least 0.5 of a second for every metre that you ride them. As they come past, you'll notice this amazing new technology.
The question is, do they
Yeah, I believe Carl actually found them under a bench in the club rooms, is that correct?
Well, that's the Blackburn Skunk Works, that cupboard. That's where the skunk lives. Or maybe it's the possum, but either way, it's the Possum Works helmets, and they are super duper.
Oh, there's a bit of a space. No, it's winding up now, it's on.
Neil trying to go the long way around Chris. They cross the 200 metre line side by side. It's neck and neck as they come into the corner. Neil has to go the long way around. Can Chris hold him on his hip? Looks like he can at this point. There's pride at stake in this race. These riders are going to race again in the final in a few minutes. But